Fine, that's good to hear, Aditya. So I'll just share my screen in a second. एक सेकंड दे दीजिए मुझे सिर्फ. I'll go live on YouTube also. तब तक मैं मेरा दूसरा डिवाइस खोल के नेगेटिविटी देखी थी आज हम लोग ने स्टार्टिंग में, एंड देन आफ्टर दैट हम लोग ने एक बार 18200 रीटेस्ट किया, उसके बाद हायर लेवल्स पे आए हैं. सो इफ यू रिकॉल, आप लोग ने अगर मेरा वीडियो देखा है, विच वीडियो एम आई टॉकिंग अबाउट? आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्विंग ट्रेडिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज वीडियो, विच इज दिस वन. यहाँ पे और ये दो जो वीडियोस है, एक मैंने लास्ट वीक डाला था, एक वीडियो मैंने अभी इस वीकेंड डाला था. उसके अंदर what I have said is that since Nifty is sort of failing, and I believe this is something we discussed in our previous live stream also, since Nifty थोड़ा सा higher levels पे fail हो रहा है, ऐसा लग रहा है, maybe there is a chance कि हम लोग ये 18120 के आसपास के लेवल को retest करें. So as of now, what we have seen is an 18200 retest. I still feel, given how the markets have moved in the past, बहुत बार ऐसा लगता है that price has bounced up right from above an important level, but many times we end up forgetting that resistances are still valid. So अगर हम ये resistance मान के चलते हैं, right, then there is still a chance कि यहाँ से वो resistance लेके नीचे जाएगा. So I will still personally say कि until and unless we are able to see a few consistent days of bullishness, और मे बी हम लोग कोई मूविंग एवरेज का कट ऑफ डाल देते हैं. सो व्हाट मेनी पीपल एंड अप डूइंग, एंड आई जस्ट एडेड माय मूविंग एवरेजेस हियर, इसकी अगर 50 और 200 के ऊपर है, दिस इज द 50, दिस इज द 200, तो हम बुलिश मान के चलते हैं. राइट नाउ वी कैन सी प्राइस इज बिलो बोथ ऑफ देम, करेक्ट. सो एक बार यहाँ पे ऊपर आ जाता है, मे बी देन वी कैन कंसिडर दैट ओके, मे बी द शॉर्टर टर्म ट्रेंड इज टर्निंग बुलिश, एंड दिस हैज सी, इफ यू सी यहाँ पे इन द पास्ट ऑल्सो, right here and right here, right, यहाँ पे prices were going down and we saw that there was a downtrend considering the moving averages, और ऊपर इतना आया था from around 16740 to around 17280. So this was a good 500 points का recovery in a way if you see from high to low. But उसने यहाँ पे signal दिया थोड़ा सा late, but the signal that it gave us helped a lot in understanding the trend, क्योंकि उसके बाद price was going generally speaking upwards without many deviation, और अभी हम लोग देख सकते हैं फिर से नीचे आए. So I would personally say that even though the market is doing very good today, अगर हम लोग sort of second half recovery की बात करते हैं, I will still say that from a overall point of view, I feel there is still some amount of caution that is required in this market. So वो मेरा व्यू है. Again, in terms of levels and all, there are several levels that we can mark, but I feel the more important level, the more important concept here is ki, are we actually being able to stay or being able to bounce above those moving averages? क्योंकि हम लोग ने typically देखा है वही सारे जो averages है वो resistance दे रहे हैं हमें. And if you want to see, maybe you can consider this as a resistance, maybe we can consider this also as a resistance. But I would be more interested in seeing कि अगर वो moving averages के ऊपर रहता है, then it shows a sustained trend because levels are stationary, right? अगर मैं यहाँ पे level mark करता हूँ 18660 के आसपास, then that level is stationary. अगर price 18800 भी हो जाता है तो ये level यहाँ का यहाँ ही रहेगा. But if we consider a moving average, तो अगर 18800 है, naturally price should continue going upwards for it to be in a trend. So naturally, in that sense, this line should also go up, and that is something that a moving average is able to do. So again, I don't want to make this about moving averages. The intention is just to say कि शायद और हमारे में volatility है और downside हो सकता है market में. Very important to still be cautious. So yeah, that's my view. Okay. Are ICICI and SBI good stocks to buy now? Target price to purchase? Neha, are you talking about target price to purchase Nifty? If you're talking about Nifty, then I will say कि Nifty में as such, let's say someone wants to buy Nifty, at a certain level. I would always say कि rather than that, what in my view works better is कि जब भी निफ्टी थोड़ा सा नीचे आता रहता है, at that time you enter smaller quantities. So for instance, if we see here from the high, Nifty has fallen by around 3.67%. Let's say कि अगर Nifty 18,000 को तोड़ता है, let's say, and this is a hypothetical situation, it might not happen, but let's say Nifty goes to 17,900 or 17,800. Nifty has fallen by 5%, more than 5% from its highs in this case. And if this happens, this is when I will deploy part of my capital. So मान लो अगर आपके पास 100 रुपए है, मे बी यहाँ पर आप 10 या 20 रुपए डाल सकते हो. अगर और नीचे जाता है, मे बी यू कैन पुट 10-20 मोर रुपीज. अगर यहाँ से ऊपर जाता है, वेल एंड गुड, दैट्स फाइन, बट मेक श्योर दैट दिस 100 इज नॉट योर एंटायर कैपिटल. Make sure this 100 is the capital that you want to reinvest, or it's the capital that you want to put in slowly, because मेरे experience में this ends up giving a better return than just trying to see कि अच्छा अगर 18,600 तोड़ा then I will buy, अगर fresh all time high किया then I will buy, because in those cases you have to be very proactive with your timing. And market timing is not something जो सब कर सकते हैं, and realistically speaking it is not even possible, I will say, because market timing is it's just not something that generally happens for most people. कुछ ना कुछ हो जाता है, right? For instance, अगर हम लोग past data के हिसाब से जाते हैं, it's very easy to say कि यहाँ पे एक बार टॉप किया and then यहाँ पे एक बार रेजिस्टेंस लिया, so यहाँ पे we should exit. But seldom will that actually happen, क्योंकि most people क्या सोचेंगे, अच्छा यहाँ पे एक support है, let's wait till here. You wait till here, that support becomes a resistance, you say कि अच्छा maybe यहाँ पे support है. So all of those things happen, which is why I always say कि instead of trying to time the market, do it in reverse. Buy on dips, especially when in general हमारा trend bullish है. So वैसा है. That is the overall idea. And again, for this you have to assume कि the markets might continue going up, and unless there is a structural change, ऐसा ही होना likely है. So I feel this was hopefully a good mix of not a fundamental view but an investment centric view and a trading centric view. So my sort of opinions on those are going to be the same. I know many of us will ask me about the levels for tomorrow. So मैं levels भी दे देता हूँ, मेरे in general levels देता हूँ मैं. So for me right now, a very important level for Nifty is likely just to be this one that we have seen, which is around 18,100, 18,120. ये I think 18,180 के आसपास मैंने draw किया है, but I think you get the point, right? कि roughly speaking, from 18,100 to 18,200 I feel is going to be a very important level. Reason being कि अगर इसके नीचे जाता है, then this sort of क्या बोलते हैं हम उसे, that floor that price has experienced, that strong support that price has experienced might not hold, and that is not a very pleasant sign. So ये एक level हो जाएगा मेरे mind में. The next level, as we discussed already at the start, is this one, 18,400, because हम देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर भी price was acting as a resistance, and then we saw a good move upwards. We saw support here, failed resistance, and now we are trying to hit the same region again. So I will say 18,400 appears to be another important zone. एक बार वो तोड़ लेता है, then again once we can see this level is coming to the picture. ये वाला कौन सा level है? This is the 18,700 level. So I would say these levels are going to be important for the coming days, in my view. और मैं coming days इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ because this Thursday also unfortunately I won't be able to live stream. So I'll just write it here as well. No live stream this Thursday either. So I'm traveling again, which is why ये Thursday भी नहीं हो पाएगा unfortunately, but that's fine. That's why I'm giving you थोड़े से broad levels अभी से ही, so you are able to have that in your mind. और अगर इसके ऊपर जाता है, then of course we have the all-time high level to look at. Is there any specific reason why the market is volatile? I think that's a good question. So last week, if you would have asked this question, मैं आपको कहता कि there are a lot of economic events that are slated to happen. क्योंकि last week we actually had several important events, including the Fed funds rate. But this week there aren't as many important economic events. I feel what is right now happening is that थोड़े से expectations line में आ रहे हैं. Plus we are seeing that the market has gone up quite a bit, right? If you consider the last time that people were somewhat bearish was around here and around here. क्योंकि दिस वाज द स्पॉट, राइट? यहाँ पे फिर से नीचे आया था प्राइस एंड यहाँ से फिर से नीचे आया, तो दीज वर द स्पॉट्स वेयर पीपल हैड सम अमाउंट ऑफ पेसिमिज्म. वेल, दिस वाज बैक इन अक्टूबर. अगर हम देखते हैं टिपिकली एवरी कपल ऑफ मंथ्स और एवरी फ्यू वीक्स वी डू सी सम सॉर्ट ऑफ सेलिंग, whether it is a small selling phase, whether it is a bit of a larger one, whether it is sideways consolidation, whether it is something like this, so थोड़ा थोड़ा होता रहता है. So I feel in that sense it might just be a cyclical thing कि लोगों ने prices lower prices पे खरीदा है. Some people might be booking profits. Other reason is that this thing you will see being thrown around a lot कि tax loss harvesting हो रहा है दिसंबर में, कि these funds and all they will sell in December and they'll buy back in Jan. So I don't know exactly उसका कितना impact होता है, because in the brief time that I've been involved in the market and analysis space, I have not really seen a very statistically significant relation between the two. कि मैं जब no audio, let me see, audio नहीं आ रहा क्या? Let me see. Yeah, audio is there. I'm not sure why there was no audio for you, but yeah, I just double checked. Audio aa raha hai. No, Somesh, that was on YouTube. So Creator pe to audio is definitely there. YouTube sometimes there's some problem, but yeah, I definitely can hear the audio. So yeah, as I was saying, based on my experience in the market, I have personally not seen a very statistically significant or even a observationally significant relation between the two. कि लोगों को लगता है that अच्छा वो December last week है, we'll definitely see a fall. Does not happen, or does not happen to the degree that people expect it to happen. What I will say is कि कभी-कभी क्या होता है, sometimes international fund houses and all do take a break around Christmas time, and because of that you see lower liquidity. Because of that you do see a bit of choppiness in the market. वो मैंने I think थोड़ा भी observe किया है from how much ever I remember from last year and the years prior. But otherwise उतना ही उतना statistically significant और उतना बड़ा impact वाला I have not really seen. So that's my view on that. Quickly, let's take a look at Bank Nifty also. Let's see what banks are doing. I believe Axis Bank is doing very good today. Let's see what that is up to and all. यहाँ पर हम लोग देख सकते हैं for banks actually the momentum has reduced a lot, because हम लोग यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं the curve is slowing down, right? The curve is slowing down. It's going like this. वरना क्या होता है, it should go like this, or if it's really doing good it should go like this. But no, we are seeing a slowing down. और इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है, that maybe just like Nifty there is a slowdown in the sentiment. If we see this thing, the RSI, we can see RSI from around 75 it is back to below 60. So let's see, maybe there is a slowdown in general. Maybe the momentum might catch up. हम लोग यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं मूविंग एवरेजेस के हिसाब से it is right around 20 MA on the daily chart. Now this is a very interesting and a very important moving average, because 20 MA जो है, 20 MA, whether you take EMA, whether you take SMA, whether you take any other moving average, generally the 20 moving average is considered as the most sort of significant trend following average. तो अगर वो ही ट्रेंड फॉलोइंग हम आगे चलते देखें, then maybe we might see a bounce on Bank Nifty from here. Let's quickly see where Nifty is in relation to the average. Yeah, Nifty is below the 20 MA. Nifty is actually around the 50 MA on the daily. So that's also an important level. And coincidentally, Nifty ka 50 MA is right around 18,120 level as we discussed. So again, if you've been watching all this while, I hope आपको याद होगा कि हम लोग क्या बात कर रहे थे related to this thing, related to moving averages and levels. So that's what we're seeing. अगर छोटे टाइम फ्रेम पे देखें बैंक निफ्टी को, अगेन वी कैन सी इट्स रिकवर्ड वेरी वेल एंड बैंक निफ्टी इज एक्चुअली रीटेस्टिंग previous close right now, which is good. Nifty, as we can see, is still a little bit away from previous close. So for Bank Nifty, I think जो level पे अभी है, right, this previous close level, it has been a very problematic level as such, क्योंकि हम लोग ने देखा after this 43,600 selling, we have seen 43,440 to 43,500 acting as an important resistance, और अभी वही लेवल को थ्रेटन करने की ट्राई कर रहा है. सो इफ वी एक्चुअली सी अ ब्रेक ऑफ दिस लेवल, अगर हम लोग देखते हैं वो लेवल टूटते, then I feel there is a good chance that we might actually see Bank Nifty regaining some amount of momentum. And again, that goes in sort of tandem with the moving average and the RSI thing also. So what you have to understand is कि technicals give an idea of price, and since it's giving an idea of price, technicals many times converge होते हैं. So many times you will see mixed signals, many times you will see signals that end up agreeing with each other. So this is one of those cases where the signals are agreeing with each other. Let's quickly go to money control. Money control के NSE देखते हैं. NSE पे let's see what VIX is like. VIX we can see is just under 14 right now, up today. Up क्यों है? You might be wondering. Nifty is up quite a lot in the second half. Why is India VIX also up? हम लोग यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं this was a gap down. So generally what happens is that when there is a gap down or when there is an initial negative movement, VIX अपने आप ऊपर थोड़ा सा चले जाता है. Same goes if we see a very noticeable spike or a gap up at the start, और उसके बाद prices start falling, we will still see VIX going down. So I feel it's more of a knee-jerk sort of reaction at the start rather than more well thought of reaction throughout the day. These are Nifty's gainers. These are Nifty's losers. Bank Nifty का भी देख लेते हैं. This is the list, and this is the list for this thing. This is the list for Bank Nifty gainers. So this is what it looks like. Let's also quickly take a look at this thing, at money control. Money control pe we'll be able to see the contribution. So we can see Ambani and Adani are leading the pack here. Nifty is holding thanks to Ambani and Adani. And let's see कितना ये लोग होल्ड कर पाते हैं. एंड यहाँ पे हम लोग देख सकते हैं TCS is the third one on the list. On the downside, on the draggers, we can see HDFC Bank is one of them. So let's take a closer look at those. यहाँ पर we can get started with Reliance. और Reliance हम लोग देख सकते हैं, if you recall, on Sunday I had published my swing trading opportunities video, और उसके अंदर मैंने कहा था maybe there's a chance Reliance might do well. That said, मैंने वहां पे बोला था I will not buy at this level. I would rather just wait for it to sit and simmer in my watch list and see where it goes from there. So Reliance appears to be forming some sort of base around 2560. Let's see if that actually holds. HDFC Bank significant gap down, पर हम देख सकते हैं overall movements are kind of range bound. Right? एक box जैसा बना के रखा है उसने. But the good thing is for HDFC Bank that lows से recover किया था from 1620 to 1635. It's around what, plus 15 points, which is just under 1%, right? So 1% जितना gain किया है उसने. Next, we look at Infosys. Infosys, we can see IT stocks in general, we can see are doing very well. Previous close के ऊपर था, but then it sort of drifted back below previous close. 1520 might be an important resistance. HDFC में हम लोग ऐसा कुछ देख रहे हैं. Again, we can see little bit better than HDFC Bank overall, but not particularly exciting either. ICICI Bank doing good. ICICI Bank in general, I feel हम लोग ने काफी इसके बारे में देखा था, especially when it sort of broke 900. अभी I think we are still seeing some sort of normalization happening, because क्या हुआ है यहाँ पे, after a good outperformance of sorts, maybe यहाँ पे we are seeing ICICI Bank sort of stagnating a little. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Banks in general have been a little weak, so can't really say ICICI kharab hai. SBI, this is what it looks like. Again, very similar situation for most banks, and this is Kotak Bank. Adani and Reliance is up because election results, I think, could be Somesh. Dabur and IRCTC, sure, we can look at Dabur and IRCTC, after which I'll talk about SIPs. Dabur, ठीक है, not looking too shabby, I'd say. Weekly chart पे देखते हैं, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I feel और थोड़ा सा अगर let's say we are able to hold above 587, 585 or so, maybe it's got a better potential. यहाँ पर अगर हम देखते हैं with the moving averages, then we can see that it was simmering here around 542 at the 50, 200 and 500 moving average, और वहां से we saw a good bounce. So ideally for Dabur, I would say this was a better level, but ठीक है, this is, let's see how it basically progresses from here. I would personally not buy at this stage, because मैं काफी स्टॉक्स देखता हूँ और इसीलिए I keep the decisions a little stricter, where if it's not around an important level, or if I don't feel it's got a good chance of just sort of shooting up from there without going down further, तो ही मैं लेता हूँ. Otherwise I avoid, because I've made the mistake of thinking that अच्छा maybe यहाँ से वो momentum continue रख के ऊपर जाएगा, and it's sort of backfired, which is why I'm a little strict when it comes to that these days. IRCTC हम लोग देख सकते हैं, it's right around here, which has been an important level. So if you see यहाँ पे, I will just mark this zone for your convenience, around 670ish, and we can see यहाँ पे एक पहला support बना था, and then after that this is what, after dividends or buyback or something must have been here, OFS buyback, some corporate action probably, because we can see यहाँ पे it came down around 660, again bounced up, from here, and again we are here. So IRCTC actually, even though कोई moving average के आसपास नहीं दिख रहा है, I still feel इसके अंदर daily पे there is some chance at least, because it is a little oversold if you see. On the weekly chart though, if you see, it's not looking very good, क्योंकि weekly पर हम लोग देख सकते हैं that prices went up, नीचे आए, यहाँ पे they sort of distributed for a bit, and now we can see it is likely to go down. So IRCTC from a longish point of view, if you see weekly chart पे, maybe better to just wait and see how it's moving. Daily chart पे maybe it still has some upside, maybe 5%, 6%, it might bounce, and then it might take resistance from an area like this 715 or so. So let's see कैसे जाता है. Now coming to the question on SIPs. So SIPs overall in concept are good, because SIPs का concept क्या है, you're just putting in money at sort of regular intervals. That is great. But what I feel is very important for SIPs is कि आप किस instrument में डाल रहे हो, क्या सोच से डाल रहे हो. Because if you're just blindly buying mutual funds with SIPs, let's say you pick the first mutual fund you can buy, or let's say some influencer or some Instagram reel or YouTube shorts recommends some mutual fund, and you're like, हाँ ठीक है, this sounds good, इसने वीडियो के अंदर तो अच्छे पॉइंट्स बनाए हैं, मैं ले लेता हूँ. एंड दिस इंक्लूड्स माय कंटेंट आल्सो. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि सिर्फ मेरा कंटेंट अच्छा एंड लेजिट है. दिस होल्ड्स ट्रू फॉर एवरी सिंगल वीडियो ऑन फाइनेंस एंड इन्वेस्टिंग दैट यू विल फाइंड. ये सारे जो वीडियोस हैं, they are general statements, and B, many times they are sales oriented videos. So as this is completely off topic, But as someone who has been, in the content creation space for several years at this point, ऐसे बहुत सारे ऑफर्स मुझे आए हैं जिसमें they've said that अच्छा, this is the investment product, but just don't disclose that it's a sponsored video, or just make sure it's a subtle plug. Now, I of course steer clear of such things, but there are many people who don't. Either the deal is too good to be true, or they're just in it for that. तो उसके चक्कर में क्या होता है, as viewers, you don't get that authentic knowledge that you're here for. बंदा ये videos और सब क्यों देखता है? Because they feel that, okay, if I watch a video by a real person, maybe the information will be authentic. So that element entirely goes away. अभी what's the point of beating around the bush here? ये बात का point ये है that find what is working well in your given your sort of constraints. Maybe you're putting in just a few thousand rupees every month. उस case में the stocks that you can buy, the asset classes that you typically put in money is severely limited. Maybe you want a regular income. Maybe आप सोचते हो that since the amount that I'm putting in is high, maybe you're putting in several tens of thousands, or some people, if they have the capability, maybe they're even putting in several lakhs a month in an SIP. So maybe they would want to have something that is also giving them some dividend income. So maybe वो लोग dividend stocks पकड़ेंगे, maybe उस तरह के mutual funds पकड़ेंगे. Maybe some people are saving up for a car or for a house or something. तो उस case में you don't want to put it into an equity mutual fund or a share as such, because अगर वो price नीचे चला जाता है, if price is going down by 20%, मान लेते हैं किसी ने 10 लाख बचा के रखे हैं एक घर खरीदने के लिए, then your plans are unfortunately shattered because the prices went down. And the situation is such कि जब भी economic uncertainty आती है, right? For instance, COVID, that was actually a great time to lock in rates. If you were actually getting into a home loan, rates were very low. You would have gotten a fantastic deal compared to if you enter into one right now and the rates are almost 10%. So वो टाइम पे जहां पे अपॉर्चुनिटी सबसे अच्छी है, सबसे ज्यादा है, आई विल जस्ट स्टॉप शेयरिंग माय स्क्रीन सो you don't look at an empty this thing. Yeah, video was paused because because the screen was stationary. But the thing is कि जब भी opportunity अच्छी है, at that time your investment value might be a little lower if you are putting in an equity for those instances. But अगर 5, 10, 15 साल के लिए कोई रख रहा है, then equities are good. So a lot goes into it, and that is why it might sound like I'm rambling on and on and on. But the main objective is that I want you to understand कि पहले समझो क्या आपका objective है, and then you do SIP. So don't just hear advice from someone जो बोल रहा है SIPs अच्छे हैं, and then you're like, okay, what's the first SIP I can find? That's not ideal. So yeah, just wanted to share that. When investing small amounts like 1 to 2K per month, which stocks are good? So Aditya, there are probably thousands of stocks that are within that budget. I will always say ki look for the biggest stock that you can find. Meaning, let's say someone thinks that just because it's a 2000-ish rupee share, let me see exactly what the price of it is. ठीक है, प्राइस थोड़ा सा बढ़ गया है from the last time I've been observing, but there's this company, right? Siemens नाम की एक company है. So Siemens right now has been doing very well. So if you see Siemens 2020 में 940 का था, अभी it is around 3000. So it's 3x right now. So many might think कि अच्छा just because it's a cheapish company, right? 2003 cheapish नहीं, rather it's a pricey-ish company, 3000 के आसपास, it might be good, but that does not necessarily mean that it is going to sort of outperform or it is going to do well. Because another example, just like Siemens, I would say on a similar scale for perceived investors as such, is Whirlpool. Whirlpool is at 1500 rupees right now. अभी अगर कोई बंदा सोचा रहता अच्छा Whirlpool is at 2000, maybe I should buy Whirlpool, you would have actually lost what 25% of your money that you put in, because 2000 से नीचे आ गया वो. So pick the best stock that you can find in terms of how stable it has been, if that's what you're looking at. So maybe, if you feel some IT stock is well priced, maybe if you feel Reliance is well priced whenever it comes to that level, wo sare points where you can sort of get into it. So specific recommendations, that I'm never going to give you. I'm just going to share my watch list. I'm going to share my thoughts, because I don't really like that sort of acha हाँ यही चीज लो वही चीज लो. A, because I legally can't do that. I'm not SEBI registered. So all of this is just edu and info. And B, because it's ultimately your money, it's your decision. I don't want to, I don't want to play that active of a role in anyone's decision making skills. क्या बोलते हैं अभी? Let's say that you make a very good profit, right? You are the most happiest you've ever been because of that profit. That profit's credit should go to you. At the same time, unfortunately, if someone makes a loss, that loss ka credit is also going to go to them. I'm just here to share my views and hopefully make you all a little more aware about these things, right? Just have a fun time. ऐसा नहीं है कि I want to sit and recommend something. Not at this stage anyway. So that's why I don't make very specific recommendations. And even the swing trading opportunities, this thing video series that I have every weekend jo jati hai, those are my watch list items. Those are not my stock recommendations. So yeah, that's my view. Just sharing my YouTube channel link. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to it. And thanks Mahesh for upvoting the channel. I appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's about it for this one. 117 followers on Creator right now, so make sure you hit that follow button. At least let's get to 120 this stream. And yeah, thank you very much for sitting through, spending your 35ish minutes with me. I hope it's Fin Nifty will get right, man. I'm so sorry. Fin Nifty is basically finance stocks, BFSI stocks, जिसका वो किया है क्या बोलते हैं, जिसका एक बास्केट बना है. So if you look at Bank Nifty is all the banking stocks, right? All the banks, all the important banks. Fin Nifty is that same thing except for finance in general. So you've got Bajaj Twins and all also. जो financial companies, the financial services companies, and not just banks, because banks and financial institutions are different. Banks are a subset of financial institutions. So anyway, I hope that helped. And yeah, I look forward to seeing all of you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. See you next. Happy trading, happy analysis. Thanks.